Brought to you by Molson's, independent brewers since 1786. Brewers of Molson Canadian Lager Beer and Molson Export Ale.
Hello, Canada and hockey fans in the United States. Bill Hewitt and Brian McFarland here at Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto. And Brian, quickly about the lineup changes for tonight's game.
Well, time for just one, Bill. The big surprise, Terry Sawchuk has been selected to start in goal, one of Punch's hunches. Now here's Frank Selke with Bob Goldham.
Thank you, Brian. Bobby, hockey fans all across Canada by the hundreds of thousands are wondering, are we going to have another marathon tonight, or is it going to be a wide-open, high-scoring game? Have you got a thought on it?
Yes, Frank, I do. I think they'll start off very cautiously, maybe for 5 or 6 minutes, and they'll, like the old boxer bit, feel each other out, but I think we're going to see a real wide-open hockey game again.
Bob, I took a couple of cabs today. One cab driver told me he thought Montreal was going to fill the net, and the other fellow, about a half hour later, he said, I think Toronto's going to win easy. Who are you going to pick in this game?
Well, let's put it this way, Frank. You got a great offense against a great defense, and which is going to crumble first? I don't know. I would hate to predict it.
Bob, anything special to look for in the first period?
Yeah, I would look for a tremendous offense from Montreal right off the bat.
Okay, Bob, now here's Bill Hewitt.
All set to start the first period with the Montreal Canadiens in their white uniforms at the north end of my left. Toronto Maple Leafs, dark blue, south end to the right. The referee, Art Scove, number 3, calling Stemkowski and Henri Richard to center ice, and it goes back to Pronovo, number 3, over to Hillman, up to Papin, and it's into the Canadian zone. Vachon stopping it. Stemkowski tries to center it. Pulford trying to get it out in front. It's right in front for Pulford. Perrier coming to the penalty box, number 2.
Montreal penalty to number 2, Perrier. 2 minutes for interference. The time, 18 seconds.
18 seconds is the time of the interference penalty to LaPerriere. Stemkowski, Pulford, Walton, Papin, and Hillman all playing up. Roberts is out there. The puck comes back to Papin. His shot is high. Pulford goes to the boards. Gets it loose. Stemkowski and Walton put together. Here's right under the net. Stemkowski a shot. Right in front of Walton a shot. Oh, and Vachon grabbed that with his left hand.
A spectacular save by Rogatien Vachon. The first minute of play with LaPerriere in the penalty box. First, Stemkowski misses. Now, watch the...
Finally gets it down the ice. Larry Hillman, to Stemkowski. Up to Walton. Over the line. Walton pulls in with a shot. Vachon stopped at the rebound in the goal crease. Harris knocked down by Stemkowski. Papin off the boards for Hillman. To Pulford. Pulford flipping it in. Harris stepped into Pulford. Casey Tremblay. He shoots a high one, knocked down by Papin. Papin back to Walton. There's his shot, a hard one. Another shot, and Vachon has stopped that. Roberts shoots it down the ice. And Vachon gets a great hand for his effort. Keon down the left wing with Mahavlich. Over the line to Keon. Pulls it right in. And he couldn't get a shot. To Mahavlich. Mahavlich goes behind. Trying to center it. He did right in front of the net. Hillman moves up and Talbot shoots it down the ice. Jim Papin for Keon. Too far. J.C. Tremblay on to Hillman's stick. To Keon. Over the line. Harris stopped it right on the Mahavlich's stick. His shot to Keon. Back to Mahavlich. A shot right across the goal. Hillman lets one go. It's right in front of the net, and Jill Tremblay shoots it down the ice. LaPerriere is on. Sachak flipping it for Hillman, and Hillman comes back. Stopped by J.C. Tremblay, covered by Mahavlich, and a shot out over the line. Cleared back in again. Here's Ralph Backstrom coming up. He's covered. Stanley flipped it right to LaPerriere. Over for Jill Tremblay, and Ellis bumps into him, and they hold it for face-off. The puck went into the Leaf bench right through the gate, Brian.
Well, we've played almost 3 minutes now, and the Canadiens still haven't been able to carry the puck over center ice. The Leafs have kept the pressure on from the opening whistle. Of course, the Canadiens had a man in the penalty box for 2 of those minutes, so that didn't help them much.
It's Henri Richard. It's number 16 at center ice. Man Roseport 25. Dave Below number 20. Terry Sachak playing in goal for the Maple Leafs. Conacher checked by Harper. His shot hit Stanley. And Kelly to Ellis. And he missed it. Horton moves up. Shot it at center ice. And Roseport backhands it right to Horton. On to Below, and he overskates it. Ron Ellis failed to get away. Richard shot it to an open wing. There was nobody there. Conacher then passed it right on the Harper stick to Richard. Inside it Stanley. Richard centered it. Roseport took a drive. Comes back for Harper, a shot. That's in front of the net. Horton has it. Shoots it off the boards to center. Perrier then right back into the Leaf zone, and Stanley wraps it out. Harper shooting it to Roseport. He controlled it with his glove, and it was called by referee Art School.
Now the Leafs are having trouble getting out of their own end, so Punch Imlach is going to make changes. We mentioned that Terry Sachak started in goal tonight. This is either an Imlach hunch or Johnny Bauer may have been hit on the foot during the pregame warm-up. Provo is out of the lineup for Montreal. Jim Roberts is playing.
Omni face-off. Papin gets the break over the line. There's the shot. Vachon caught it. Holds it. Canadians are making a chase now. Jean Beliveau with John Ferguson. Cornwallier, Harris, and J.C. Tremblay. Stamkowski, Pulford, Papin, Hillman, and Marcel Pronovo. Here's Papin, a shot stopped by J.C. Tremblay. Up for Cornwallier, trying to go around Marcel Pronovo. Marcel Pronovo then for Papin on the right side. Papin shoots it in. Stopped by Vachon for J.C. Tremblay. Around for Ferguson. Up to Beliveau. A pass for Cornwallier. Sachak knocks it into the corner. Pulford and Cornwallier bump together. Here's a chance for Stamkowski with Papin and Pulford. Stamkowski over the line. There's his shot. Sean stopped that. Stamkowski tried to center it. Goes to Beliveau. Beliveau over on the wing to Ferguson, and it's cleared out for Stamkowski. He shoots it in. Papin knocked down from behind. J.C. Tremblay to Jean Beliveau. Trying to go around the defense, and he's stopped by Horton. He cleared it for Mahavlich. Up for Keon. Keon races down the ice. Breaking through the defense. Took a shot. Vachon grabs a hold of it off the ice.
Oh, another fine stop by this rookie goaltender as Keon almost broke right through the defense. Here's the play developing with Mahavlich over to Keon. He goes the rest of the way by himself. Now watch Vachon very closely in that hand. Look at the way he scooped that one up.
Backstrom, LaRose, Jill Tremblay, Keon falls. Mahavlich poked it back right on the Jill Tremblay stick. With LaRose and Backstrom, stopped by Armstrong. For Keon and Mahavlich, that failed to click. Harper is stopped. LaRose feeding it back to LaPerriere to Backstrom. A long shot. Sawchuk got a piece of it. Stanley for Armstrong. It's stopped by LaPerriere. There's his shot. That's wide. Mike Mahavlich. Around on the boards for Armstrong. Fails to get it out. Jill Tremblay kept it in with a long shot. Martin now feeds Armstrong. To Keon. Trying to go through. LaRose flicks it out. Over to Stanley. To Mahavlich. Mahavlich kicked at it. LaRose has it. Back comes LaRose alone. Backstrom trying to catch up with a long shot. Sawchuk stopped that. Play is called. A penalty into the Maple Leafs. Armstrong. Interference.
Armstrong was interfering with Backstrom as they skated up the ice.
Toronto penalty to number 10, Armstrong. 2 minutes for interference. The time 6:19.
Bill, there's a shot of the Leaf bench, and Johnny Bauer, so far as we can see, is not sitting behind the bench. So it's quite possible he did stop a shot in the pregame warm-up, and that's the reason he did not start tonight.
Okay, Brian, we're all set to go now. 13:41 remaining in the first period. Here's J.C. Tremblay's shot, knocked down by Pronovo's stick. And Ellis comes back into the corner. Beliveau coming up to center. Offside for Russo. Conacher took it, and then Ellis and Russo bumped together. Ellis and Russo clashing over along the boards. Ferguson, number 22. Beliveau is 4. Cornoyer, 12. J.C. Tremblay, 3. And Bobby Russo, number 15. Ellis is 8. Conacher, 22. Hillman, 2. And Marcel Pronovo, 3. The puck is kept in by Jean Beliveau. Here goes his shot off Marcel Pronovo. Ellis couldn't get it out. Ferguson fell. Cornoyer into Ferguson. A shot. And Sawchuk made the save on Ferguson.
There it is on the instant replay. Beliveau holding the puck in. Watch Cornoyer get into position here. Now he doesn't know whether to shoot or to pass. He elects to pass it into the mouth, and Sawchuk, in falling to the ice, is able to smother the puck.
No score in the game. Fourth game of the Stanley Cup Finals. Martin facing off against Beliveau. Goes back to J.C. Tremblay. There's his shot. Sawchuk stopped that. It covers up.
And there you see Ferguson go through the goal crease and into the corner where the sticks come up. Horton's in there. Ferguson, number 22 from Montreal, going in after that loose puck. He says the day I stop doing that is the day that I'll quit playing hockey. As long as that puck is loose in around the goal, he's going to go in after it.
Face off in the Leafs zone to the left. A minute and 16 seconds remaining in the penalty to Armstrong. It's cleared into the corner. Horton slaps it out and down the ice. Russo back for it. To J.C. Tremblay. Back to Russo. J.C. Tremblay. Russo gets it back, dumps it up the center. Picked up by Belleville over the line. A pass to Ferguson. The backhand is wide. Russo took a shot. Sawchuk stopped that. The Warriors shot. And that's off the target. Comes back to J.C. Tremblay, and his shot is deflected wide. Pulford drives it down the ice. Up now for J.C. Tremblay. Duff is on his left. Shot it in. Sawchuk stopped it. Ellis covered Duff. Horton and Belleville bumped together. J.C. Tremblay a drive. Sawchuk stopped that on the short side. Belleville covered Horton. Ellis tries to get it out. J.C. Tremblay right for Cornwallier. Stopped by Stanley. And Conacher gets a hold of it, wastes time, and flicks it down the ice. Armstrong is back on the ice as J.C. Tremblay flicks it in. Conacher goes behind the net, stops, missed the check from Duff, who fell. Conacher just shoots it down the ice, and Harris will touch it, and that is icing. And we have 11:23 remaining in the first period, no score.
Well, we watched Dick Duff skate back into position. The Leafs had a big edge in play in the first 3 minutes, and now the Canadiens have taken over and have applied a lot of pressure to Terry Sawchuk.
Henri Richard out there, number 16. At center ice, Rochefort on the right, Duff on the left. Pulford, Stamkowski, and Tappan. Marcel Pronovo hit by Duff. Henri Richard and Marcel Pronovo sits down, and there's no further play. But Duff handed out a pretty hefty check, right?
Well, for a little guy, he did, yes. And there's Henri Richard, who took probably the hardest check in the finals the other night when Stanley hit him and knocked him flat.
On the face-off, Jim Tappan, number 18, in the corner. Now he goes behind his net. He just shoots it down the ice as there was nobody in position, and it's LaPerriere back to touch it, and that is icing. Leafs are trying to hit their centerman at the blue line. If they miss, it's going to go down the ice, and it usually comes back as icing. Canadians are forechecking the Leafs at this point, moving every man up inside the blue line. Goes right to Papin from the faceoff. He breaks out with Pulford. A long shot. Vachon came out of the net to catch it. Stooped it behind the net. Pulford is given a shove by LaPerriere. Henri Richard for Dick Duff. Over the blue line with Rochefort. Tried to go through. Marcel Pronovo came from nowhere to check the two Canadian players. Hillman around for Pulford. Fails to get it out. Here's Rochefort getting a chance for a shot. That hit Marcel Pronovo. Pulford. Over to Hillman. Up for Papin and Stamkowski. Stamkowski over the line with Papin. Perrier checked by Papin. Here's Stamkowski. Stamkowski sent it all the way back to the blue line. And all the way to center ice. Stanley over to Hillman. He shot it in. The Leafs are changing. Henri Richard. A long shot. Sawchuk got a piece of it. Bounced away from him and nearly went in the empty net. Stanley. Up for Mahavlich. To Stanley. For Keon. He tips it. And it goes to Perrier. Mahavlich raced in to take him out of the play. Perrier around on the boards for Jill Tremblay. Armstrong covered him, and Keon takes it. For Mahavlich. Trying to feed Armstrong, and LaRose comes back to Richard. Rose is way over the blue line, but Richard goes back. Now he tries it with Jill Tremblay. He's checked. Stanley to Mahavlich. Going down the ice. There's his shot, and Vachon grabbed it. Horton trying to keep it in. It goes out over the blue line. Off the boards for Mahavlich. He fanned on it. Harris shooting it up for LaRose. Stopped by Stanley to Keon. Keon gets set. There's his shot, and he missed the target that time. Horton to Stanley. He shoots it in at the blue line. Stop there at the linesman. Conacher goes after it. Harper right on to Stanley's stick. Up for Red Kelly. Closing in with Conacher. Covered by Harper. They hold it there for a face-off in the Canadian zone to the right. 8:28 remaining in this first period. There's no score.
Oh, we saw Henri Richard take one of those long bouncing shots at Terry Sawchuk a moment or two ago, and it almost got by him and into the goal. And I think, Bill, we're going to see a few more of those before this night's over. If they feel that Sawchuk is the least bit jittery or is having trouble with those long ones, they'll let them go from center.
On the face-off, it's cleared up for Cournoyer. Over the blue line, gets his shot. Sawchuk stopped it. Cournoyer trying to center it. Kelly covers him. The puck goes loose, and it's cleared by Ferguson down the ice. J.C. Tremblay has to go back for it. A pass at the blue line. Cournoyer knocked down by Conacher. Marcel Pronovo's shot on a J.C. Tremblay stick. Flipped it ahead to Beliveau. He had to turn around and come back again. Now he's at center. Here's his long shot. Sawchuk caught that one. Ellis decides to hold it. Play is called. 7:44 remaining in the first period. No score. Fourth game Stanley Cup Finals. Toronto leading the series 2-1. 2 penalties so far in this first period. LaPerriere for interference at 18 seconds and Armstrong for interference at 6:19. Out comes Backstrom, LaRose, and Jill Tremblay.
Let's watch it over on the instant replay. The Canadians hold it in there. Backstrom is the man to watch as he gets set in position. Watch the backhander now. It'll come over to Backstrom. There it is. He flips one just inside the goalpost as Sawchuk went down. Ralph Backstrom opening the scoring here in the first period. Montreal 1, Toronto 0.
Montreal goal scored by number 6, Backstrom. Assist number 11, LaRose. The time 12:25.
Backstrom knocked down. There's going to be a penalty here to the Maple Leafs, a tripping penalty. And it'll be Marcel Pronovo for tripping.
That's Ralph Backstrom's 4th goal. He has 2 assists. Scored 6 points.
Toronto penalty to number 3, Pronovo. 2 minutes for tripping. The time 12:36.
Beliveau with Ferguson and Cournoyer, Rousseau and J.C. Tremblay, Keon Armstrong, Stanley, and Horton. J.C. Tremblay to Rousseau over on the left wing for Ferguson. Armstrong couldn't stop it. A shot hit the side of the net. Another one by Beliveau. And Sawchuk stopped that and covers up.
Look at that one again as the Canadians come close. With Pronovo in the penalty box, there's Rousseau getting the pass over. It bounces. Armstrong has trouble. Ferguson takes a shot. There's another shot with Beliveau right in front of Sawchuk.
Goes back to J.C. Tremblay. There's his shot. Sawchuk grabs it and he holds it. Stanley facing off with Beliveau.
Here it is as the Canadians hold it in. Cournoyer with the puck. He'll get it back to Rousseau here and follow in for the shot. Beliveau from the side will get it in, and it bounces in off somebody's pad in behind Sawchuk. John Beliveau, and it's 2-0.
From the face-off, Rochefort gives it to LaPerriere up for Duff, and Fulford has to go back for it.
Montreal goal scored by number 4, Beliveau. Assist number 15, Rousseau.
And the Canadians
number
coming in
12,
again, a shot.
12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 12, 13:08. The time 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13:08. 13
13:08. Offside at the blue line. And it's 2-0.
Russo and Cornwallis drew assists on the goal by Beliveau, his 5th of the playoffs at 13:08.
On the face-off, Marcel Pronovo. Off the boards for Pulford. It's offside. Stamkowski, Pulford, Papin facing Henri Richard, Rochefort, and Duff. Pulford to Hillman. Over to Marcel Pronovo. He shoots it in. Stopped by Vachon. He's right to Stamkowski. To Hillman. His backhand. Pulford just failed to get a hold of it. Harper had it knocked off the stick. Gets it again. Pulford covers him. Stamkowski gets a hold of it. Here's Papin closing in a shot. Another try, and it's grabbed by Vachon.
Here it is on the instant replay as Stamkowski does some good digging in the corner here, getting the puck away from Harper as Pulford and he fight for it. There's Stamkowski. Papin gets loose in front. Vachon sprawls across that crease and manages to take the puck between his legs as Hillman moved in quickly and was pushed aside. Might mention, Bill, that in every Leaf playoff game so far this year, the team that scored the first goal won the game, except in the overtime struggle here on Tuesday night.
False start from the face-off. Stamkowski, Pulford, Papin, Hillman, and Pronovo playing up. Gilles Tremblay with Ralph Backstrom and Claude LaRose. Terry Harper and Jacques Laperriere. Pulford's going to get a new stick. On the face-off, it went over Pulford's stick, and LaRose feeds it up to Gilles Tremblay with Backstrom. A long shot. Sawchuk caught it, dropped it to Hillman. Or Stamkowski, stopped by Harper. Here's a chance for LaRose. His shot was wide. And Laperriere let one go, and that's high. Pulford can't get it out. Stamkowski digs it up. Around it goes to Papin. Back to Stamkowski at center. Takes his shot, that's wide. Pulford to Stamkowski with Papin. Papin holding the pass. He centered it. Vachon shot it back. Here's the chance for Stamkowski. Right in front, a shot. Cleared over to Gilles Tremblay off his stick. Up to Backstrom. Long shot. Oh, Stamkowski got a piece of it and nearly went in the net. It just caromed away. Pulford up for Keon, too far. Marcel Pronovo. Then Armstrong moves up with Keon. They're closing in to Mahavlich. There's his shot. He missed the net. Ferguson covered by Keon. It goes out over the blue line. Armstrong turn for Mahavlich. Mahavlich goes in after it. Gets behind the net. Hit by Ferguson. Cornwallis then for Beliveau. Beliveau hit Cornwallis. He didn't see it. It went out over the blue line. Stanley took a shot. That's caroms to Vachon off the glass. Back comes Beliveau. He was hit by Stanley, fed it out for Ferguson. His shot was wide. Cornwallis left it there for Harris. Up for Beliveau to Cornwallis. Cornwallis centered it. Sawchuk knocked it back, and Keon to Horton. Up to Armstrong. Over the line for Mahavlich, offside. And we have 3:53 remaining in the first period. 2-0 Montreal.
Well, we watch the teams make line changes now, and after dominating the play in the first few moments, the Canadiens have certainly poured on the pressure throughout the rest of the first period with 3 minutes and 53 seconds left. And Terry Sawchuk looks a bit jittery, I would say, Bill.
Right, Brian. He just seems to be fighting the puck. Kelly is waved out of the face-off. Goes up the center ice. Marcel Pronovo knocked it by Russo, but Harris is there for Henri Richard. Gets it over the line. Conacher knocked it out again. Harris to Russo. Over for Richard. Over the line. Richard right back for Duff. He gets a shot at the front and that was stopped by Sawchuk. Ellis for Kelly. Over the line. D.C. Tremblay goes back. Flipping it out to center ice. Hillman flipped it. Harris brings it down. For Richard, getting in on the left side, and he's checked by Hillman. Hillman just gets rid of it down the ice, and it's Harris going back for it. Up for Russo and Richard. Here they come over the blue line. Back to Russo. Harris as the bell goes to end the second period. Score at the end of the second period. Montreal Canadiens 5, the Toronto Maple Leafs 2. And in a moment, our second intermission.
Tonight, on stage for Molson Canadian, Canada's own Broadway star, Mimi Hines.
Molson Canadian lager beer. Molson Canadian, a lager beer that's bright and clear. Molson Canadian, it drinks so smooth any time of year. Molson Canadian, it's brewed by men who know their beer. Molson Canadian lager beer. It drinks so smooth, it looks so clear. Just right for folks who really know their beer. Next time you've got a thirst for a lager bright and clear, drink Molson Canadian lager beer.
Enjoy Molson Canadian. It's the friendly lager from Molson's. Independent brewers since 1786.
Well, it looks as though that cab driver who told Frank Selke on the way to the Gardens tonight that the Canadians are going to fill the puck with nets is a bit of a prophet. But for more expert observations, let's join Frank and Bob Golden.
Okay, Ward. Now, Bobby, I think all these people that are standing up here on both sides of the rink are wondering what has happened here tonight. Have you got an explanation?
Well, it's pretty simple, Frank. One club's got too much skate, and the other club hasn't got any skate. Toronto, for some reason or other, they've lost all that dig they had the other night, and they're laying back, and you can't do that with a club like Montreal, and as a result, they're down 3 goals.
Bobby, is it a possibility that that overtime game has taken more out of the Leafs than it did out of Montreal?
I don't think so, Frank. I think it's just the way the game has developed. Montreal has taken advantage of their chances. Toronto's pulled within 1 goal, and then for some reason or other, they seem to give that 2-goal advantage back to them. Now it's 3 goals, and this is a pretty big hill to get up over.
Well, obviously, Bob, if the Leafs are going to get back into the game, they've got to get 3 goals. Now, how can they possibly do this the way the game is going?
Well, they're not skating, Frank, and the only way they're going to get back in the ball game is to start skating. Now, whether they can do that or not, 3 goals against a club like Montreal is a real big order.
I know that you've been plumping for Tim Horton as one of the stars of this series. He almost brought the Leafs back by himself in that second period.
He made one tremendous play when they were only 1 goal down. It could have tied it. Vachon made a real good save. He also made a real good save on Bobby Pulford when he was in alone, too. That could have made a real different complexion to this game.
Okay, Bob, thanks very much. Now, let's get back to Ward Cornell.
Yesterday was a big day for the National Hockey League with the Norris, Calder, Bing, Ross, and Hart trophies being presented. Here now on film, the highlights of the presentations.
Bobby, I would like you to come forward and receive the Calder Memorial Trophy, emblematic of the Rookie Award of the Year. Bobby Orr. Congratulations.
Really don't know what to say, except thank you very much to the sportscasters and sports writers for voting me to accept this award. It's got to be the biggest thrill of my life, and thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Harry, I'm delighted to be able to present to you the Norris Memorial Trophy, emblematic of the outstanding defensemen in the National Hockey League for the current season. Harry Hall.
Thank you very much, Mr. Campbell. You know, if anybody ever said that I had a chance of winning the Norris Trophy before this season began, I'd say you'd have to have your head read. But believe me, I'm very thrilled by it, and I'm proud to be able to win this trophy. Some pretty good names are on that trophy. I've seen Doug Harvey, of course. I played with Doug. I always considered him the greatest. But I'll say this, I'm kind of glad I won it this year, because I think in about 10 years from now, they're going to change that trophy to the Bobby Orr Trophy. Thank you very much.
What I am about to perform now is something unique. I don't know whether we're going to have the opportunity of witnessing again a triple winner of the awards in the National Hockey League. Stan, come forward here. I can't hold all of these trophies at once. I congratulate you most heartily on a very unique accomplishment. Pass it and set it on the table.
Thank you, Mr. Campbell. As I told my wife before I walked into this room, this isn't bad for a little DP, is it? There are a lot of people to thank for this. First of all, the sports writers and news sportscasters who voted for me. I'm very grateful to you fellas. And also to my teammates, the Chicago Blackhawks. There are two guys that I'm quite proud of, Kenny Warren and Doug Moens, who I think should share in... Well, I'll let them share in the trophies. I won't let them share in the money. Let's put it that way. Thank you very much, Mr. Campbell.
And we'll be back to talk with the three winners when Hockey Night in Canada continues in just a moment.
The first half of Hockey Night in Canada has been brought to you by Molson's, independent brewers since 1786. Brewers of Molson Canadian Lager Beer and Molson Export Ale.
The second half of tonight's game is brought to you by Imperial Oil Limited and Esso dealers, agents, and distributors serving your community.
There's half the continent of Canada and a year for centennial treks. It's the year to drive, to feel alive in the Esso Roadshow 67X.
This exciting car is the top travel award in Roadshow 67. Its advanced design includes a rear lounge area with custom fittings like built-in games tables and a stereo sound system. Only 4 were built for Esso. One could be yours, complete with all the Esso products and services you need to travel Canada 67. Gasoline, insurance, the works. Just pick up your free ticket to the top award where you see this display. Collect 5 different travel safety tips, answer a skill testing question, and you could be eligible for a 67X. Thousands of other awards, too, when you enjoy Roadshow 67.
It's for lucky folks like you and me.
At the end of this intermission, the winner of the first Esso 67X will be announced.
Happy now to have the winners with us. First of all, going down the line, Stan Mikita, Harry Howell, Bobby Orr. And congratulations again, gentlemen. Are you sure you're not going to buy them a coffee, Warm and Moens?
Well, I'll buy him something, maybe a ham sandwich.
Yeah, something like that. That's nice, Stan. I understand they're having a night for both Doug and Warm in their home.
Yes,
in their
they
hometown.
are, Ward. I think, well, I know for a fact it's May 27th for Kenny up in, I don't know whether it's East Ferris or West Ferris, which is just
I don't know.
next door neighbor to North Bay, and July 7th for Doug Moens from Cape Rail.
So they'll have their chance to honor those fellows.
Well, they'll probably get me to buy him a couple of milkshakes or something.
Something like that. Fellas, there's one big cup left to be given, and that's the Stanley, and one big trophy left, the Conn Smythe Trophy. I'd be interested in your observations on who you think the leading candidates are now. Let's start with you, Harry.
I believe that on the Montreal team, J.C. Tremblay has played very well in this series, and he played extremely well against us in the semifinals. One play he made tonight on that Backstrom goal was a great play. He held the puck maybe for 10 seconds before he finally passed to Backstrom and he scored. But he's been doing that through both series, and I think he's one of the leading candidates on the Montreal team. The other one, surprisingly, not many people are talking about him in terms of the trophy, is a goaltender. I think he played really well against us and also against the Leafs. He earned his money tonight in the first 5 minutes of this game. It could have been 2-0 for the Leafs, and maybe it might be 5-2 for Leafs instead of Montreal, the way he played there.
Bobby, what about Toronto candidates?
Well, I would have to go along with defenseman also, or one defenseman. I think Tim Horton is playing very well, and Larry Hillman is having a great series. And up front, I think Dave Keon is really playing well. He's killing penalties, power play, and a lot of forechecking, a lot of skating. Playing real well.
And Stan, your observations say on both of the teams?
Well, where these fellows are talking about the goaltenders and the defense, and I think I better stick up for the offense or offense. I'm from the States now, so
okay.
not to excuse me for a little bit of the language I use, and it's not going to be dirty. So
out and about.
Out and about. I think Henri Richard and Jean Beliveau, Backstrom from Montreal, I think they're having a real fine series, this series at least. Keon, I think, was the guy that hurt us the most, other than Sawchuk, that fourth or fifth game that you beat us 4-3. I think the line of Stemkowski, Pulford, and Pappen, they're having a heck of a good series. And actually, to me, it's a toss-up who's going to be picked as the number one guy in the series. I think there's 6 or 7 guys that could be.
Harry, we didn't hear your Toronto. Anyone to add or not?
I like Tim Horton. I think that he has played extremely well. Of course, I didn't see him against the Chicago series, but he must have had a good series. I read a lot about it. But he has played well in this series, and I think between Tim and Davey Keon.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for being with us, and again, congratulations on the awards that you've won. Now let's join Frank Selke at the penalty box.
Award, it's taken a long time, but we finally found a guest somewhat close to my size. I'm just delighted then to introduce to hockey fans everywhere Bobby Walton, the father of the Maple Leafs Mike. And Bob, I imagine you're pretty proud of that young fellow of yours.
Yes, I am, Frank. Real proud of him.
I don't know, I'm sure that you saw the play he made in the opening minutes of the game. I don't know whether that would have changed the complexion of the hockey game, but he made a great play.
Yeah, I think it would have changed the complexion, but that's hockey, and it's the breaks count, and that's the way it goes.
Bobby, back in about 1942, you played for the Montreal Canadiens, and then a little later on, you played down in Cleveland with Johnny Bauer, who is now playing with your son. This is a kind of an oddity.
That's right. I think Johnny gets quite a kick out of it. When he looks across and sees Mike in the dressing room there, he kind of says to himself, I think I'm getting a little old.
Everybody asks the question about Johnny Bauer, how old is he? You played with him, as we said. Have you got an idea?
Around 39.
Around 39. Just a year younger than you are.
Yeah, that's right.
Looking back over young Mike's career, when did it look to you, Bob, as though he had a chance to be a pro hockey player?
Well, when he was pretty young, and he started off, and I guess his mother had a lot to do with it, too. She dressed and undressed him lots of times with putting on the equipment, and he started into organized hockey when he was about 9 out in Fort William. And he went on from there and played a year in Sarnia, and we moved to Ottawa, and he played there at Pee Wee with Ron Ellis. And then we moved to Newmarket, and he played Bantam and midget there, and then he moved down to Toronto and went to St. Michael's.
You have another boy that looks as though he's on the way up.
Yes, I think he's going to be a real good one, Robert Jr. And he played with Oshawa last year, and this year they figure he'll come into his own.
We're looking forward to the day they're both playing in the National League together. Bob,
so am I.
Thank you very much. In a moment, we'll return to Bill Hewitt and Brian McFarland with the play-by-play of the third period.
Thank you.
Here is the most enjoyable moment in SO Roadshow 67. The first of 4 grand awards of the exciting SO 67X. And what a car. Designed for family travel, safety, and enjoyment. Just look at these features. A
swivel front seat turns the rear section into a family lounge area, complete with safety harness seat belts, extra deep all-around safety padding, a complete entertainment console, and a built-in portable picnic cooler. Up front, a tilt-away impact-absorbing steering wheel, FM radio, air conditioning, and outside, new safety turn indicators. There's safety, comfort, and fun for the whole family.
And now, here's the winner of the first 67X, Mr. Cliff Hackett of Edmonton, Alberta. Congratulations, Mr. Hackett. The SO67X is yours, complete with full warranty and insurance, plus SO products and service for a full year. Mr. Hackett, your keys. Happy motoring.
Thank you very much, Gordon. And thank you, Imperial Oil, for this very fine family car. I'm sure that my family will thoroughly enjoy it.
There are 3 more 67X cars to be won this summer. The next winner will be announced May 25th. It could be you. So have fun when you travel Canada 67. Keep collecting your free roadshow tickets at your SO dealer where you see the roadshow display. It's for lucky folks like you and me.
In just a moment, the teams will be on the ice for the third period. First, a summary of the first 2 periods. Backstrom from LaRose at 12:25. Belleville from Rousseau and Cournoyer at 13:08. As Montreal led 2-0 at the end of the first period as they outshot the Maple Leafs 19-11. There were 3 penalties, 2 to the Leafs and 1 to Montreal. In the second period, they changed the first goal. Apparently, Walton from Pulford and Stemkowski, not Pulford, at 2:09. Henri Richard unassisted at 2:26. Horton unassisted at 12:16. Belleville from Cournoyer and Ferguson at 13:41. And Backstrom from J.C. Tremblay at 15:58. Toronto outshot Montreal in the second period 16-10, and there were 2 penalties, 1 apiece. And
official correction on the
here's the
first
official correction now, Brad.
Scored by number 16, Walton. Assist number 12, Stemkowski, and number 20, Fulford.
That was the one that we showed you the trickle on a deflection at 2:09 of the second period. They put the Leafs right back in there. Well, now in the last game, Brian, that the Leafs played here, they won it in overtime, and Johnny Bauer was given many, many accolades. And here tonight, in the first 5 minutes, Vachon put on a tremendous display.
He certainly did. He certainly played a starring role for Montreal, and actually Punch Imlach had words of praise for Vachon after the rookie's fine play Tuesday night. But of course, Punch can't resist needling Montrealers about the youthful Mr. Vachon. Before the finals, Punch referred to him as a junior B netminder. After losing 6-2 in the opener, Punch raised him to junior A status. Tuesday night, he said Vachon had now reached senior A ability, and I think after tonight's game, he's going to admit that he's a bona fide NHLer.
Sure. And they face off, Hillman to Stemkowski, in for Pappen. It goes into the Canadian zone. Pappen centered it, and it was John Ferguson there. Comes back for Marcel Pronovost, tipped down the ice. Hillman goes back for it, knocked it off the boards, back out again. Harper follows up, over the line. Harper, shot was deflected wide. Ferguson centers it, and it goes to Stemkowski, who's checked by Cournoyer. Stemkowski will try again. Off the boards for Pappen, it rolls to center ice. The Perrier takes a long shot, caught by Sawchuk, and it's Pulford. Up to Pappen. To Pulford. Took a long shot. Vachon missed it, but it was off the target. Pulford kept the puck in. The Perrier around on the boards for Cournoyer. Up with Duff and Belleville. A long shot caught by Sawchuk. Stemkowski. Stopped by Duff. Here's Cournoyer getting a chance. And Pulford. Up for Shack. Back to Pulford. Pulford took a long shot, and that's high off the glass, and it comes back to LaPerriere, who gets it out to LaRose, who shot it to an open wing. Ralph Backstrom. To Jill Tremblay. LaRose checked by Mahavlich. To Shack, he's over the line, there's the shot. Vachon, stop that. Shack centers it back to Bond. To Horton. To Keon. He's got by Harris. There's going to be a penalty here to Harris for tripping.
Ted Harris upending Dave Keon right along the Montreal blue line.
17:28 remaining to play in this third period. Montreal Canadiens 5.
Montreal
Toronto Maple
penalty
Leafs
to
2.
number 10, Harris. 2 minutes for tripping. The time, 2:32.
Stamkowski facing off with Roberts. Stamkowski the draw, but it was called, as happens when the players step into the circle before the puck drops to the ice, and the linesman is responsible for calling it. Linesmen watch the players as they line up, and Stamkowski gets the draw again. Back to Hillman. He flicked it. LaPerriere, watched by Stamkowski, gave him a bump. LaPerriere came in front of the net and shot it down the ice. Hellman to Papin. To Stamkowski. Stamkowski over the line. Closing in. Pass the right in front. Hooker to a shot. Vachon was knocked down by the Leaf player. It goes out for Roberts. Roberts down the ice alone. One man takes his shot. Sawchuk stopped it. It came right in front. Papin feeds Walton. Walton races down the ice. He's over the line. Here's his shot. Hit wide. Goes after it again. Another shot. Hit the side of the net. J.C. Tremblay. He's given a shot. Stamkowski ran into J.C. Tremblay. Papin for Pulford behind the net. LaPerriere after it. He shot it off Hillman out to Talbot too far, and Papin is there. Walton into Stamkowski. To Pulford. Over the line. Pulford keeps it in over to Walton. Right on the J.C. Tremblay's stick. J.C. Tremblay ragging the puck. Goes into the Leaf zone. Given an elbow by Papin. And it's Hillman. Up to Walton. He's closing right in. He shoots and he shot it wide. Papin. Off the boards, right on to Russo's stick. Russo back at center. Checked by Keon to Mahavlich. Mahavlich to Keon over the line. They're closing in. A pass for Armstrong, intercepted by Talbot. Keon checked him, and Armstrong goes back. To Hillman. Hillman for Keon, too far. Keon races in after it. Canadians are back at full strength, and Henri Richard takes the pass, comes up the center with Harris. A long shot, knocked down by Sawchuk. Armstrong to Mahavlich. Up for Keon, over the line, he shot it into the corner. Armstrong races after it. He tried to center it. Harris fed it to Richard, who gets it out over the blue line, and Horton flips it to an open wing. Keon goes after it. Trying to get by J.C. Tremblay. Goes to the boards, and play is called. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
SO Roadshow 67. 50,000 Instamatic camera outfits to be won.
It's for lucky folks like you and me.
Face-off is in the Canadian zone. Conacher right on the duff stick. Up with Russo. Over the line. Russo moves up again. A pass back, and Kelly feeds it to Conacher. Conacher can't get out. Duff takes it out over the blue line. Shot it over the Leaf line, and it's Horton back for it. Up to Ellis to Kelly. With Conacher over the line. Kelly closing in with a pass, and then J.C. Tremblay was right there. Ellis took it away from him. Kelly had it out over the blue line. Trying again. The pass to Ellis. Conacher's way outside on the left wing. 14:06 remaining in this third period. 5-2 for Montreal.
Well, the Leaf passing has not been sharp tonight. This is one of those games where they need the big stopper in goal if they're going to be able to come up with a victory. And Terry Sawchuk has not been able to provide the same kind of goaltending he displayed against Chicago in the semifinals when he was nothing less than spectacular. They've been hitting those corners on Sawchuk tonight, picking them beautifully.
Marcel Pronovo goes back into his own zone, being watched by Belleville. To Hillman, off the boards to Papin. Down the right wing for Papin, over the line, took his shot. LePerriere to Ferguson and knocked it out over the line. Hillman took a shot, Pashon caught it. Harper covered by Stankowski. John Belleville for LePerriere. Hillman knocked it to an open wing. Harper then to Belleville. Stankowski picks it off. He gets it into the Canadian zone, and Pulford goes after it. Pulford fighting for it. Ferguson comes up with it. Up to Belleville. Keon stepped in front. It goes loose to Pulford with Marcel Pronovo. It was over his stick. Hillman goes away from Belleville to Keon. Keon back to Hillman, and he couldn't get his shot away. And that is shot into the Canadian bench. And we'll have a face-off inside the blue line. 12:56 remaining in this third period.
Well, Bobby Orr was the greatest rookie ever to come along, but there's a fellow who got one vote in the Calder Trophy voting, Rogatien Vachon. But, Bill, he only played 19 games this season for Montreal, so he's still eligible next season for the Calder Trophy. And he's a leading candidate right now, I'd say.
He is. And they face off. It's Backstrom. Being hooked by Shack. Bond just shot it to an open wing. J.C. Tremblay for Backstrom. Ted Harris, he moves over the red line and flicks it. Bond got a piece of it. Keon then to Horton. Coming up the center. There's his shot, and that is high over the glass, underneath the clock, and right out in underneath. Montreal Canadiens 5, Toronto Maple Leafs 2. Backstrom, Belleville, Walton, Henri Richard. There's the time remaining, 12:31. Horton, Belleville, and Backstrom. J.C. Tremblay in possession. He has Backstrom on his left to Jill Tremblay. Took a long shot. That's wide. Mike Mahavlich just gets rid of it down the ice. It hit J.C. Tremblay, so there won't be icing. J.C. Tremblay pulling away. Got it up to LaRose. Stopped by Mahavlich. J.C. Tremblay again to Ted Harris. Jack nearly got loose. Harris in to pass LaRose. Now then Mike Walton is up there. A long shot by LaRose, who was combed by Eddie Shack, and there's going to be a penalty there to Eddie Shack for charging.
Well, that was a rather silly penalty Shack took, coming up from behind and leaping on top of LaRose just outside the Leaf blue line. Number 23, Eddie Shack, goes to the penalty box.
Toronto penalty to number 23, Shack. 2 minutes for charging. The time, 8:21.
8:21, 11:39 left in this third period. Montreal 5, Toronto Maple Leafs 2. It's Belleville, Ferguson, Cornwallier, Perrier, and J.C. Tremblay. Ellis, Conacher, Hillman, and Pronovo. Hillman gets it out over the blue line. Perrier then to J.C. Tremblay to Belleville. Back to J.C. Tremblay. Over for Belleville. On to Ellis' stick, and he shot it down the ice to the Canadian blue line. Here they come again. There's 4 of them. J.C. Tremblay to Cornwallier offside. He was a foot over the blue line.
Junior hockey, Thetford Mines and Marlboroughs go at it again tomorrow night. Marlies won the first game 6-2. They're back at Maple Leaf Gardens Sunday afternoon. Out west, New Westminster and Port Arthur are hooked up in the Western Junior Finals. New Westminster leads that series 1-0.
Conacher facing off against Belleville. It goes to Ron Ellis. Back to Hellman. To Ellis. And he just shoots it down the ice, and it's LaPerriere. Up for Belleville. Belleville turning at his own blue line. Now he comes to center. Up over the blue line. He's got Cornwallis who takes the pass. Cornwallis gets it in front. Hellman fails to get it out. Belleville still with it. To LaPerriere for Ferguson. Ferguson hit Ellis. Ellis is dumped by Ferguson. Marcel Pronovo then backhands it down the ice. Keon and Armstrong come over the boards now, replacing Conacher and Ellis. Cornwallis comes down this right side. Henri Richard with them. They're over the line. Henri Richard moves in. There's the shot. Patchak stopped it, and Hellman the rebound into the corner. Duff. Passing it back to J.C. Tremblay. There's his shot, and that deflects wide. Henri Richard to LaPerriere a shot, and that's wide. Cornwallis keeps it in. Patchak for Keon. And it's J.C. Tremblay still inside the blue line. Keon checks him. Over to Armstrong. Over the blue line. His shot is going high up into the end blues. 9:49 remaining in this third period. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Tonight, Mr. W.C. Hackett of Edmonton won a fabulous 67X. There are still 3 more. You could be next. Play Esso Roadshow 67.
10 seconds remaining in the penalty to Eddie Shack. Stankowski, Pulford, Bond, and Horton. A pass for Henri Richard. Horton going after him. Here's the Roberts right in front of the net. Sawchuk grabs a hold of it. Nobody had an actual shot. Just kept sliding. Now then, Shack is on the ice. So Papin comes over the board. Montreal 5, Toronto Maple Leafs 2, 9:39 left in this third period. Harper a shot, that's wide. Vaughn after it. Duff checked him. Henri Richard to Jim Roberts on the right wing, and Pulford failed to get out. Roberts with it. A back pass in front. Peter Stemkowski now pulls away to center. He took a long shot. That went high off the stick, and that went over the glass and out the exit at the north end to our left. It's 2 in a row. Henri Richard and Stemkowski facing off. The puck is dropped. Pulford gets it into the corner, goes after it. Stemkowski there. Pulford and Harper. Harper fell. It comes back to Horton. Takes a backhand. Pulford tried to center it. Stemkowski took his man out. The puck goes loose, though, to LaPerriere. Up for Richard. Over the line. Takes his shot and hit Bond. Comes to Stemkowski to Bond. Back to Papin. Papin, Stemkowski with Pulford. Over the line. Closing in. A pass for Stemkowski to Pulford. Trying to center it. Henri Richard. Grabbed by Stemkowski. Henri Richard. Stick handling at center. The Leafs change. For Duff. Horton breaks it up. For Conacher. And it's offside.
Well, both teams will make changes now. And for the Canadiens, Dickie Duff has played a fairly strong game. Richard has been all over the place. Belleville has been most effective. J.C. Tremblay, as Bob Goldham mentioned between periods, has certainly been very, very reliable back on the blue line, anticipating those Leaf plays.
Ted Harris to Ralph Backstrom. Covered by Walton. Marcel Pronovo. For Ron Ellis. He's checked. Backstrom over the leaf line. In the corner. Tried to center it. Hillman takes it away from him. Around it comes to Conacher. LaRose and Conacher bump together. Play is called. Marcel Pronovo and Ralph Backstrom facing off. Mike Walton to Hillman up to Ron Ellis, and it's too far for him. He picks it up off the linesman, then lost it again. Backstrom coming up the center ice. Over the line with Joe Tremblay, snapped by Hillman. Mike Walton to the rolls, gets his shot, and Sawchuk stopped it. A pass for Conacher, stopped by LaRose, and that shot was over top of the net. Hillman for Conacher. Behind Walton. Over for Beliveau. His shot is right on, and Sawchuk holds it, and there's a change of players now for the Maple Leafs and the Canadiens. They can do it in comfort. Time to play, 7 minutes and 3 seconds in this third period. Montreal leading 5-2. There's the score. Vaughn facing off with Beliveau, got the draw, back to LaPerriere, a shot, and that was high. Mike Mahablis just gets it up to center ice. Shot back into the Leaf zone again. Now it's Horton pulling away from Beliveau with Keon. They're over the line. It's outside.
Well, this has been a good night for centers to come home with the goals. Backstrom has 2. Beliveau has 2. Richard has 1. Walton, normally a center, has a Leaf goal. Horton's the only defenseman to get in there.
And surprising when the game was really tight, the unassisted goals that kind of broke the game up. Horton goes back into his own zone, knocked it out over the blue line. Beliveau shoots it to LaPerriere. LaPerriere moves up. His shot is wide, but it's caught by Sawchuk, and he holds it. Face off in the Leaf zone to the right. Beliveau with Ferguson and Cournoyer. Harper and LaPerriere. And they face off. Beliveau in an Armstrong stick to Keon with Mahablich. Takes the pass. And he wants it off the stick. Keon follows up. Got it into the corner on the other side. Armstrong. Then to Mahablich. Out for Horton. Beliveau tried to get away. Horton stopped him. Armstrong failed to get through. Keon. And to Horton. Took a long shot. Ooh, and that bounced as Vachon was able to get a piece of it. Horton moves up again, getting right in on goal. Tried to drive it in. Vachon covers up, and play is called.
Well, that rattled the net almost off its moorings there as we watch it on the instant playback. Tim Horton uses brute force here to try to force the puck home. Look at him bang away at it. The other players move in, and the net does a kind of a shake, rattle, and roll there, but Vachon's able to hold it out. Canadians had Ferguson at the ready there, too, trying to clear some traffic in front of Vachon.
5:55 remaining in regulation time. Bobber's shot by Pronovo. Tomlin went after it. Knocked it into the corner, and now then it's Larry Hillman. Up for Stamkowski, who knocked it up the center ice. J.C. Tremblay having difficulty. Kaplan nearly get loose. Goes back into the Leaf zone, and it's Hillman. To Stamkowski. To Marcel Pronovo. Pronovo goes over the line. He takes his shot. Vachon stopped it. Roberts hit by Stamkowski. J.C. Tremblay off the boards. Hillman keeps it in for Papin. He and Stankowski bump together. Up the ice for Talbot, and then to Richard. Pulford gets back. Pulford, the short side.
Here it is, and Pulford takes a hard shot, and you'll see, as Bill pointed out, the Leafs let it go. Back comes Richard, a soft pass to Roberts, and watch this high shot that Sawchuk just waves at. It's in the corner, over the shoulder. Sawchuk looks a bit disgusted on that one. The Canadiens head for the bench. They're in complete command of this game at this point. So the next game in the series will definitely be Saturday afternoon in Montreal at 2 o'clock starting time.
Scored by number 26, Roberts. Assist number 16, Richard. The time 15:17.
15-17. Ellis down the right wing. Stopped by LaPerriere. Got it back into the Leaf zone. 4:25 left. Martin up for Conacher. Over the line. Centered it. Ashon grabs the hold of it. And there'll be no further play.
This was the score the Canadiens won by in the opening game of the series, and people at that time were thinking of a possible 4-game sweep. Bauer came back to shut them out 3-0. Then we had that thriller here in overtime on Tuesday night, the game that Pulford broke up.
On the face-off, Harper covered by Walton. Backstrom then to LaPerriere. LaPerriere starts out himself. Now Backstrom at center. He tried to go through. Here's a chance for Joe Tremblay. Joe Tremblay didn't know he had it. Conacher knocked it in to the corner. Vaughn and LaRose bumped together. Goes back out over the blue line. Perrier for Harper. To LaRose, to Backstrom. Backstrom fakes the first shot, lets it go again. It comes back to LaPerriere. There's his shot that hit Vaughn. Then LaRose let one go. Backstrom tried to center it. After it. And there's going to be a penalty there. LaRose and Vaughn were swinging at one another with their sticks. Claude LaRose, number 11, and Bob Vaughn, number 21, will likely get penalties. Vaughn is coming over now, and LaRose has already gone to the penalty box. Three minutes
Montreal
and 26 seconds remaining in the third period.
LaRose, 2 minutes for slashing. Toronto penalty to number 21, Vaughn, 2 minutes for hooking. The time 16:34.
16:34. LaRose for slashing and Vaughn for hooking. Montreal Canadiens 6, Toronto Maple Leafs 2. Hellman to Marcel Pronovo. To Eddie Shack. At center ice. He lost it to Talbot. Talbot gives it back to J.C. Tremblay to Harris. Hillman shot it in, but Shack was inside the blue line. Face-off will be outside the blue line. Talbot, Rochefort, Harris, and J.C. Tremblay. J.C. Tremblay. Back of the Canadian goal, Harris and Shack with their sticks. Play is called, and they're both going off the ice, Shack and Harris. Well, that means the teams will play four-a-side.
Eddie Shack in the penalty box. He and Harris going on.
Montreal penalty to number 10, Harris. 2 minutes for slashing. Toronto penalty to number 23, Shack. 2 minutes for slashing. The time 17:09.
17:09 the time. Kings playing four side. Back to Talbot. To J.C. Tremblay. Up for Talbot. Talbot ranks the puck. Mahavlich after him. Takes it away from him. And now then Frank Mahavlich turns to Hillman. With Horton over the line. Horton still with it, and he handed it right to Talbot. J.C. Tremblay moves up, and J.C. Tremblay didn't expect the pass and wasn't there. Hillman, Horton, and Mahavlich coming to center. Horton over for Mahavlich, offside. This game is coming to you from Maple Leaf Gardens in Toronto.
Mr. W.C. Hackett of Edmonton is the April winner of a fabulous 67X. There are still three more. Play SO Roadshow 67. It's for lucky folks like you.
On the face-off, Delan Marcetta is out for the first time there for the Maple Leafs. Horton and Hillman. Horton shoots. Caught by Vachon. Drops it there for J.C. Tremblay. J.C. Tremblay over to Jacques Laperriere, just wasting time here. Back to J.C. Tremblay. Horton covers him. Perrier gets it out. Hillman is there. Hillman over the line. Closing in. Took his shot. Now then Vaughn is out, and so is LaRose. Roberts. Back to LaRose. Took his shot wide. Goes out over the blue line. Kelly out there with Marcetta. J.C. Tremblay to Jacques Laperriere. 1 minute and 1 second remaining.
Last minute of play in this period.
Less than a minute to go in the third period, and it's cleared down the ice. 6-2 is the score for the Montreal Canadiens over the Toronto Maple Leafs, and it's icing called against Montreal. 46 seconds left now. As Backstrom and Beliveau scored in the first period, then Walton, then Henri Richard, Horton, Beliveau, Backstrom, and Roberts.
Anybody coming here tonight expecting to see a repeat of Tuesday night's game was in for a disappointment because they're playing at a much slower pace all through this third period. The Canadiens with that commanding lead, they're content to ride out the clock. Imlach is throwing Marcetta out there and a few others. I thought he might even put Al Smith in to give him a taste of playoff action to see if he might be needed later on.
Kelly, Walton, and Shack. Shack turns, shot it wide. It's behind the net. Kelly centered it. Walton shoots. Vachon stopped that. The puck goes to the corner. Shack ran into his Shack and Ferguson and Shack get at each other.
Action for you as these old rivals, Shack and Ferguson, off with the gloves. And the crowd that had started to leave has turned now and is watching this excitement down below. They have a pretty good grab on each other, Shack and Ferguson. This isn't the first time they've collided. This happened just after Walton almost scored on Vachon. Now Bobby Vaughn is out there with Terry Harper at mid-ice, and they get those two apart. Players milling about, and that looks like the end of it. Shack and Ferguson, no real damage done to either player. John Ferguson is at his best playing a hitting game. He takes costly penalties, of course. In fact, he set a team record for penalties with Montreal this year, 177 minutes. But he also scored some key goals for the Canadiens. He scored 20 over the regular season. Picked up 3 more in the semifinals with New York. 2 of them were game winners, 1 in overtime. And he's one of the few players from British Columbia to make the National Hockey League. Some others, Bert Marshall, Joe Watson, and Cesar Maniego. 31 seconds left on the clock. They'll dole out the penalties. Shack has already gone to the dressing room. Ferguson will follow suit and get the customary reception. There he is, John Ferguson. three penalties for Shack in this third period, Bill.
And if they're majors, then
Montreal
they'll
penalty to
substitution.
number 22, Ferguson. 2 minutes for roughing. Toronto penalty to number 23, Shack. 2 minutes for roughing. The time, 19:29.
19:29, roughing penalty, so they'll play a man short and play 5 aside. It's Kelly, Walton, Vaughn, and Marcel Pronovo. Talbot, Roberts, Harper, and Harris. It goes back to Marcel Pronovo. He deflected it. Walton right in on goal. And Vachon grabbed that right off his stick.
Oh, we'll watch that one again as Walton was robbed for the third time in this hockey game. Here it is as Kelly faces off. Puck comes back right through to Walton. He tries to pick that corner, and he can't get it through Vachon. Boy, he's played well tonight, that youngster.
Kelly lost the draw this time, and the Canadians come back. Roberts with Talbot over the line. Roberts trying to cut in. Vaughn stepped into him. Roberts goes fighting for it, though, and if he and Marcel Pronovo go to the boards, Roberts goes down, but he maintains the puck up on the leap end. All ready to go. Puck is dropped. Kelly goes back with 6 seconds. Comes up to center. 1 second left. Over the line. There goes the bell. The game is over. As Kelly fell into the boards with Harper. And Roberts scores the only goal of the third period from Henri Richard at 15-17. And so the final score of tonight's game. Montreal Canadiens 6. Toronto Maple Leafs 2.
Canada, go SO where you go. Go SO, go in the snow with SO. Keep the arrow in sight.
Stop in. From mid-May on, the arrow points to local experts with maps and info on how to get to where you want to be.
Go in the snow with SO. Keep the arrow in sight.
Stop in. From mid-May on, the arrow points to travel centers with maps and information on accommodations, eating places, points of interest, entertainment, recreation, and the latest information updated daily.
Go in the know with SO. Keep the arrow in sight.
Stop in. From April 28th, get answers to questions around Montreal or at the fair. Esso is there. The only single source of official Expo information on the road and on the Expo aisle.
Canada, go SO. 'Cause SO's with you all the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, here are the 3 stars of tonight's game as selected by Foster Hewitt. The first star, Jean Beliveau. The second star, Ralph Backstrom. And the third star, Rogatchan Vachon.
On behalf of SO dealers, agents, and distributors,
Ward Cornell again, along with Bob Goldham, and as we wait for Jean Beliveau to come in, Bob, your final comments on that game.
Well, it was a hockey game. The score is indicative of the play, I think. I think Montreal played as well as they had to.
I was just going to say, Bob, do you really think, here they won tonight handily, and yet I didn't think they played as good a game as they did the other night.
I don't think they were pressed enough to, Ward. They, as I say, they played just as well as they had to win. They won quite decisively.
And so the series is now all tied up 2-2, and it moves back to Montreal. Here's John. Come on in, John. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Very
Well
good
done, John.
game. Sit down. Well, the team didn't seem to be awfully hard-pressed tonight.
Well, I think both teams didn't skate too good compared to the last game. I don't know if those 2 overtime periods took a little bit out of our system, but we thought we were getting a little better towards the end, but like I said...
I think we both, Ward and I, felt that you played a much better game the other night, John, and lost than you did.
That's what they do, too. That's what I thought,
tonight.
too. But like I said, I think both teams were going at the same pace, not as fast as the other
Well,
night.
you
There's no doubt
certainly
about
were
that.
in control. I'd like to ask you one question because I was watching you very closely on the face-offs in the offensive end. You didn't lose one tonight.
Well,
just from experience, John.
Well, after so many years, I should be able to take my share of those face-offs.
Well, we commented on it. I was sitting with Harry Howell, and I said, there, you did it again. And it was always, you were drawing to the left point.
Yeah, and sometimes I try to mix it up a little bit, but depends where the wingman, the opposition wingman, stand. If he moves toward to get in our end to get the position for a shot, I would try to get that face-off on the left side.
You made it look awful easy tonight, John. Any of the rookies were watching, they could have taken a real good lesson.
Maybe look easy, but sometimes, sometimes it's very hard.
But John, in the opening minutes of the game, the great saves that Vachon came up with, was that the thing that sort of gave the team the lift?
There's no doubt that those kind of saves really help a team. You need those kind of saves, especially in the Stanley Cup Series. You see that in every series that the goaltender came up with a great save. That gave the chance, like tonight, gave us the chance to come back and score a few goals, and makes a big difference.
Well, did you feel with the first 2 goals, maybe on Terry, that you had somebody in there that was just a little bit shaky?
Well, we thought that he was after the first goal, and after my first goal from the side, that's why we decided to try a few of those flipper or bouncing puck.
Well, John, thank you again very much, and congratulations.
Well, you're 2 out of 3 now, John.
Pleasure to see you then.
Very good game.
And I'll be back with the wrap-up in just a moment.
These are rough days for tires. Faster cars, heavier loads, sudden stops. That's why Atlas built this new high-performance tire with wider tread than ever. Built-in wear indicator, bigger wraparound shoulder, bonded to a super-strength nylon carcass. You get improved skid-out safety, improved cornering, improved stability at high speeds, a safer ride. The Atlas high-performance tire costs you more, but it gives you more. It's a tire and a half. Ask your Esso dealer for the new Atlas high-performance tire, the quality tire with the red line. Or just tell him you'd like a tire and a half. He'll know. It'll be available soon. The Atlas high-performance tire. Just another service from Esso.
The 3 stars once again, Beliveau, Backstrom, and Vachon. The shots on goal, Montreal outshot Toronto 40-37. A reminder that the next game in the series, now that it's all tied up 2-2, moves back to the Forum in Montreal, and game time on Saturday afternoon will be 2 o'clock. The final score once again tonight, the Canadiens 6, the Toronto Maple Leafs 2. Good night, everyone.
The second half of this Stanley Cup playoff has been brought to you by Imperial Oil Limited and Esso dealers, agents, and distributors serving your community.
Hockey Night in Canada is protected by copyright. Unauthorized reproduction by any means, in whole or in part, is not permitted.
Visit Expo's exciting pavilions. Ride the breathtaking mini rail. Play at Canada's greatest funland, La Ronde, on An International Affair. Another CBC special Centennial Year program tomorrow night in color. This is the CBC Television Network.